Hey there, I see you've stumbled upon my fabulous domain. I am Friyoshii, a cosplayer and an aspiring fashion designer, and my channel is all about learning new and fun creative stuff. In today's video, we're going to make the infamous Cottagecore milkmaid dress that we've been seeing all around the internet. It was kind of a struggle to make this dress for my amateur sewing skills, but it did push my limits further and I was able to improve my skills and learn new techniques. This dress is so adorable, so I really wanted to get one. Then I was like, would it look good on me? Then I was like, okay, let me just make one and see if it looks good on me. So I really wanted to share this video with you guys so you guys can learn from my grave and poor mistakes. That crow literally keeps talking every time I speak. So let us begin our mission for today. These are the materials I'll be using. I'm using this adorable pink striped fabric. I have my rulers, my measuring tape, my pencil, and some pattern paper. If you don't have pattern paper, you can just use newspaper. I'm using my basic bodice pattern. If you don't have a basic bodice pattern, I'll leave a link below to my video on how to create one. I'm using this puffed sleeve pattern, which I made long time ago. I don't have a tutorial on this, but I'll display the measurements on the screen so you can copy it. I'd suggest to make some changes in this pattern as shown. Extend the bottom a bit to your liking and make it a straight edge instead of a curve. So here I'm tracing my basic bodice pattern. If you don't have one yet, you really should make one. It's going to make your life so much easier. I really hate making patterns, so this is not a professional way to make it, but it was a more simple and easy method for my noob ass. So here I marked 3 inches above my bust line since I wanted my neckline to be 3 inches above my bust. Then I just drew out the general shape of the bust cups without any measurements like this. I'd suggest you make the bottom curve edge few inches below your bust line. As you can see, my line is almost on the bust line and it wasn't really comfortable to wear, so curve it out a bit few inches below the bust line. So I extended the top edge around my armhole curve few inches as shown. Then I cut out my pieces. Make sure you cut through your darts. Also, my top was only till my waistline. So now we're going to extend the bust cup since we need to gather it in the end. So what I did was I took the length of my cup and multiplied it by 1.3 and extended it. So here's my new bust cup pattern. After doing that, here's all the patterns. You'll need to cut 2 bust cup pieces and the center front piece will be cut on fold. You'll need to cut 2 side front pieces and 2 back pieces. Also make sure you add your dart at the back pattern. Since I forgot to add it at first, I had to later sew it on. So I cut the top edge of these 2 patterns to place my sleeves later on. My back piece was just a rectangle that I cut out from my basic bodice pattern. So here I cut out all my pieces on my fabric, and for the center front pattern I kind of curved it a bit. And here are my sleeve pieces. Now I'm going to place my fabrics right sides together and pin them along each edge. I'm going to take it to my machine and sew it. So So I cut out these two rectangular pieces which were around 40 centimeter in length and the width was about 4 centimeters. So I'm going to fold the rectangle and sew it along. Then I'm going to take a safety pin and place it on one end of the strip, then pull it through inside to turn it inside out. I'm sorry to pause this video, but I have something really important to say. That is, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below what type of tutorials or videos you want me to make in the future. You may proceed with this video now. After you're done sewing half of your front pieces, make sure you iron your seams flat. So here's the front piece without the bust cups attached and the two strips. So here's the two bust cup pieces. So I'm going to pin it around halfway through the center front side, as you can see. And you can see the center is like a V shape, and you're going to sew along those edges. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the bust cup and we're going to fold the top edge to make a channel through which the strips are going to go in. So here I'm making my channel by double folding it and pinning it. Then I'm just going to sew it along. After sewing it along, I took my small safety pin and put it on one end of the strips and placed it through the channel we just made. After you do that, make sure you secure the strips by sewing at the edge. After you secure those two strips at the top, and now you're going to sew 2 rows of basting stitches. A basting stitch is the longest stitch on your machine. When you're doing your basting stitch, don't do your back stitch. So I switched my machine to my longest stitch and sewed 2 straight lines of my basting stitch without sewing any back stitch. After we sewed on those 2 basting stitches, and try to separate the bottom and the top thread. After separating the 2 threads, I pulled the thread. After pulling the thread, you can see how easily your top is gathering. So this is the right side of my fabric and that's the wrong side of my fabric. After gathering my fabric, I'm placing both of my fabrics right sides together and pinning them along. After pinning, take it to your machine and sew. Now for the sleeves, I'm using this thin elastic. We're going to make channels for the sleeve the same way we did for the strips. So I'm going to double fold both my sleeve pieces at the top and at the bottom, then pin it down. For the length of the elastic, you'll need 2 elastic pieces each. So in total, you're going to need 4 elastic strips. So the length of the bottom elastic will be the measurement around your biceps, and the length of the top elastic will be the measurement around your arm. For me, my top elastic was around 30 centimeters. So I did the same thing with the elastic. So I placed a safety pin at the end of one edge of my elastic and put it in the 2 channels we just made. Make sure you pin both the ends of your elastic and then sew it along to secure it. So now I'm going to pin my sleeves on my top. I'd suggest you wear the top and mark the place you want your sleeves to be, and then pin the sleeve there and sew it along. For the skirt measurement, we're going to make a half circle skirt. You're going to need 2 measurements. You'll need your waist measurement and the length of your skirt. So we're going to make a half circle skirt, so you need to take your waist measurement and divide it by pi, which is 3.142. Okay, so I have my fabric on fold. Now I'm going to take the measurement that we just calculated and draw our inner circle. So here I'm marking 10.1 inches from the top edge since that was my measurement. So now I'm going to take my length of the skirt and add 10.1 inches to it. So then I'm going to mark my outer circle from that same top point. So here's my half circle skirt. I took my half circle skirt and placed the right sides together on my top fabric around the waist and pinned it down and took it to my machine to sew. I also attached a zipper at the end, which I'm not going to show in this video here. After finishing the dress, I realized how loose it was around my waist, so I had to pin darts at my back and sew it on my machine. And now our dress is completed. Our mission for today has been completed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned from my grave and poor mistakes on how to make this dress, and I know for a fact your one turned out way better than my one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below on what type of tutorials you want me to make in the future. Shh. Share. Story.